Got here my sweat towel. All right. Hello guys, how we doing?
All right. Hello everyone! Bună seara tuturor și bun venit la Q&A Tuesday. În seara aceasta o să vorbim în engleză, întrucât avem un invitat special internațional. So I'll switch to English so that Luca can understand what I'm actually saying. So this is our weekly live show where we talk about fitness, nutrition, and mindset, all about how to live a healthy lifestyle and keep up to your long-term objectives and goals. So tonight I invited a very special guest for me, a fabulous coach. He's an international strength coach. His principles are very much aligned with those of Body Shape Romania. So I'm very happy to have him tonight with us and have him share his wisdom and expertise. And please answer, he'll answer all your questions. So please shoot any questions you have on this topic. Hi Luca, great to have you here.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, a pleasure. Thank you for having me here, Rena. Just connecting to the other device on Instagram so we can get a full spectrum there.
So until everyone gets ready, guys, we're on Facebook and Instagram live at the same time, so you can join us on all devices. If you're on Facebook right now watching us, please like it, please share it with your friends, because we want our conversation tonight to reach as many people as possible so we can impact positively as many lives as possible. So great to have you here. And if you're watching us right now, I want to know, where in the world are you? Please write in the comments where you're connecting from, if you're in Bucharest, if you're in another city of Romania, or if you're somewhere else abroad. I'm currently in Spain at the moment because we are discussing the possibility of expanding our concept here. And I had the chance, the opportunity to work very closely with Luca, because obviously even if I'm away, I'm not neglecting my fitness goals. So I'm very glad to train with you, Luca, and thank you for pushing me and motivating me 3 or 4 times a week to be an even better version of myself. So I really appreciate that.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on board, Irina. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So Luca has so much experience, has worked in London as well, is so passionate about the topic of transforming people's bodies and changing their composition. Carmen said salut. Hello, Carmen. I'm really glad to welcome you all here. So please leave us a comment about and tell us which city you're coming from so we can get to know each other better. So Luca, for people that don't know you yet or don't know much about you, tell us a bit about your background and how it all started. How did you even consider getting into the fitness industry? How did you get this idea, I'll become a personal trainer and change people's lives? And now here, look at you, you're working with celebrity clients, big names in the industry, and you help impact so many people. But I'm just curious, where did it all start from for you?
Irina, then I gotta tell you, it's because I couldn't make it as a singer. Some made it as a joking. I always put that joke up if my PT career or my
that was plan B, right?
I took a little bit of a spin on the side. Jokes aside.
All right.
Jokes aside, I always think that sport has always been a big part of my life, whether it's in team sports.
Awesome.
As a kid, such as football, basketball, and then as I moved up in the and got a bit older, more towards kickboxing. The first time I came into the gym, I was around 16, and the movie of the time was Troy in 2004, and everyone was like, I want to look like Brad Pitt in Troy, right? So that's how my first goal, when I went to the gym, I said to my trainer, like, listen, mate, I want to look like Brad Pitt. What do I need to do?
And women want to look
right?
like J-Lo or have that, the curves.
Well, that's how I kind of started into bodybuilding, and then towards the years I switched, I changed more towards powerlifting, did a bit of weightlifting as well, but now my sole purpose and the sport I enjoy the most is powerlifting.
Awesome. And you are champion in powerlifting as well in Spain.
Yeah, I'm you could say I have the Spanish record on the deadlift in WRPF. I also classified as first powerlifter as my category in 110 at the end of the year. So that was I was pretty happy about that.
And what, just out of curiosity for people who have no idea about this, like how much would you actually lift for the deadlift? What would be the maximum weight that you would actually lift up in the contest?
Oh, so my max was 290
kilos. Wow. That's huge. Imagine imagine the amount of training and work to be able to lift almost 300 kilos. So that's huge.
Goal is to lift soon past the 300. So hopefully maybe at the end of this year. There's also a misconception about when people think, all right, then you're powerlifting and you're always lifting heavy, right? You're always doing 1 rep max. Like, no, it's not like that at all. And the more in depth you go within strength sports, the more advanced you become, depending on the category you become as well. Less training is necessary, and more specific training, and also got to be very, very intelligent with your approach. Just as a beginner, you can get away with saying, all right, I'm going to try out a 1 rep max today, see how it feels. I'll try 1 rep max in 2 weeks again. Just for all of you guys out there listening, was like, okay, Luca, so how often do you max out? Like maybe once or twice a year max. And just because I prepared my body to peak to that condition, right? Now, same as within bodybuilding, where it's not healthy to be always at your peak condition, maybe be 4%, 5% body fat, then the same thing is going to happen with powerlifting. It's just not healthy, and it's not sustainable to always be at your peak. So not being your strongest, not being your leanest as well, it's fine.
Yeah, you're an example, I think, for everyone of discipline and perseverance and determination. And, just to show what's possible when you set yourself a goal and you just train relentlessly and do whatever it takes to reach it. So I think that's really amazing. So what motivates you to do the work that you do, even as a trainer? Like what brings you the most satisfaction in this job? What do you think is the most rewarding thing for you? That thing that makes you, wake up in the morning with energy when the alarm clock goes off. It's like, what's that one thing that really drives you in this career?
Do you mean as an athlete or as a coach?
Well, both, since you brought it up.
As an athlete, you can't say I'm obsessed, but I'm in love with progress. I'm in love with empowering my body and my mind as well. I think it's more of a mental boost than it is a physical boost. There is not a need to look a certain way. There is not a need to lift a certain weight, but it's going through the training. Where are you going to find, Rena, an opportunity to face your fears, face your challenges, right? And overcome your weaknesses. Like it's got all of these elements about it, this inner process that is happening when you're training. And then of course we have the external side, the personal best, the training, the volume, all of the details, right, of training. But I guess what really drives me as an athlete is that inner training process, building a day in and day out. That, I think, for me, is what really drives me.
Wow, that's amazing. And that should be, everyone's why is different, and everyone, I think, should have a reason behind why they train and you know, because it is hard work and it takes consistency. And this reminds me actually of a saying of a famous Romanian alpinist that conquered Himalayan mountains, and said, in order to conquer the mountains outside, you first have to conquer those mountains inside of you. So it's exactly, you know, in line with what you said. You have to like conquer your fears, push yourself out of your comfort zone. So guys, if you have any questions about how to do that and how to train properly, how to eat right, how to get that mentality of a champion, that winning mindset, so that you can succeed at everything you want in terms of fitness and health and energy levels, please shoot your questions, please comment below, and Luca will answer in real time for you. Now, random question, Luca, just to see how obsessed are you about actually training. How many pairs of trainers do you have in your wardrobe?
Oh, pairs of trainers. Well, I don't know. I think around, I may have, well, that I actually use now, I think around maybe on and off, around 8. But again, when you say trainers, we've got lifting shoes. I maybe have walking shoes. Maybe also have maybe just some, you know, in gym shoes with a harder sole. Yeah, not many, to be honest. But lifting shoes, I can tell you 100%, I've got 3 at the minute, and well, no, 4. And why 4? Just I have different heels of lifting shoes, different heights of heels for different types of squat, low bar squat, high bar squat. Also have flat Sabo deadlift shoes that I use that I'm going to start implementing as well for my low bar squat, dominant, of course, for my deadlifts and any type of static work that requires me to be on a flat foot.
I love your attention to detail and how you're so scientific, even about like every little thing that counts, that can impact or further your training. We asked about what motivates you and drives you as an athlete, but tell me what motivates you as a coach, because you train people, you change people's lives, but what is it behind what you do as a personal trainer, as a strength training coach and specialist, that drives you, that motivates you every day?
I think you just said it there, is changing people's lives. And as I said before, as an athlete, what drives me as an athlete? And it's kind of the same thing that drives me as a coach, is to share that inner, not only the tangible elements that you're going to get from training. So yeah, increase muscle mass, improve body composition, improve mobility, stability, and of course, improve strength. But it's the things that are happening on the inside as well, that inner process. Something I say to my clients as well, we want to train, yes, the warrior, but we also want to train the monk. It's going to be the monk and the warrior, the mindful savage in the gym. Most people just want to go in there, be a savage, and I say, and be a monkey.
Yeah, beast, right?
Around,
beast mode on.
Monkey see and monkey do, and there's a lack of foundation, training foundation. There's a lot of requirements that are necessary to perform certain exercises, and most of the general pop don't have them yet, and they are throwing themselves in without that foundation. Going back into what you said about you know, showing that inner strength into a client, getting them to be, as I said, look at what's your model for Strength Lab. And the 2 things I would say: number 1, higher performance, living your best life. Just as an example of types of clients that we have at Strength Lab, is we have 22-year-old powerlifters who compete in nationals, and then we have a 60-year-old woman who just want to be stronger, improve their performance in golf, and be able to just live their best life pain-free. And I always get the question, Luca, but do you get bored of training these type of clients who don't powerlift, who don't lift heavy? I mean, it's not exciting, right?
Exactly.
And I said, well, do you know what? The way we do things, everything is just intertwined, and it makes all sense. It's all connected. The only thing is that some people just choose a more specific route with their goals, and we'll just change the direction. But it's all related. If I can make someone, I mean, again, it's not only about changing the physique. That I think every trainer, every personal trainer should have the ability or the basic knowledge to transform someone's physique. It's not complicated. It's simple.
But some might do it better than others. Some
Not
get
too
better
easy,
results, than others.
Yeah, you just have to care and make sure that the client adheres to the program, adheres to all of your you can pass on and educate the client, but more on that later. So it's not only about changing the physique, but again, it's that inner process. Also, I said before, it's about human movement. Ruthless, the pursuit of a ruthless execution of every single rep, and that comes down to movement, technique. It's all about movement, technique. It's all about stability, mobility, and it's addressing these things before we go and touch a bar, or keep on addressing these things and temporarily changing certain exercises that can make the client reach. Now, again, it could be easily misunderstood as in, okay, you're a strength coach. What does that mean? Does that mean you make every client lift heavy? Does that mean, I mean, what does it mean, right? So
yeah, a lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, the weight is just, it's irrelevant and relative, right? My main focus, as I always say, if you can't stand on one leg, you shouldn't be squatting on two. So it's about, again, and higher performance. When I said higher performance, if I can get an athlete to move better, lift more efficiently, and pain-free, be more resilient to injuries, then guess what? This athlete is going to be better. I get a 3-year-old woman pain-free, improve her performance. Guess what? She's going to improve her performance, and again, that's going to carry over onto a better lifestyle. Being able to carry her dogs, to control her dogs, not being in pain every time you come out to bed, right? And there's this big misconception, whereas when, okay, so someone is, you're in pain or you're a bit stiff, go and do some yoga or go and do Pilates. Well, what you really need is real strength work, right? And
That's
when
right.
I see my real strength work, yes, we have to address your mobility and stability.
Yeah.
Now, hands up, everyone. When I say strength work, oh, lifting heavy, that's going to get her more stiff. No, we have to improve her movement, improve her technique, and make sure they have the right requirements before we step on. Like, if someone cannot do a deadlift, now again, do you need to do a deadlift? Do you need to do a squat in order to improve your physique? The answer is no. Do you need to do a deadlift to be stronger? No, definitely not. To improve performance? No. But again, a specific is not necessary. It's not married to the idea of being married to specific exercises. Now, variations, or let's think of movement patterns. What is a deadlift? It's a hip hinge movement.
Yeah.
So getting the client to improve the hip hinge movement, whether it's a conventional deadlift, a single leg Romanian deadlift, there's so many ways that a client can benefit from these things. And it's just finding the right, throwing in the right exercises for the right client.
Yeah.
And again, addressing the specific mobility and stability needs that the client has.
Yeah.
Now, when someone says, all right, go and do yoga, that's not specific. Yeah, that you are going to feel a bit more loose, but you don't want either excessive mobility, excessive flexibility, right? As I say, stability and mobility are two sides of the same coin. For too much of mobility, you're too flexible, guess what? You're not going to be stable. So we want all strengths in balance. And that's something that you simply not get by going to yoga or by, doing a yoga class. Different. Going to a yoga class or going to, for example, just going in and lifting heavy weights. So there's misconceptions on either side of the spectrum.
Yeah, got it. Awesome. So you seem to be very, very passionate about the specifics and the science behind the training and doing it properly, and being able to train anyone from an athlete to someone who just wants to improve maybe their mobility or posture and get rid of back pains because of sitting down all day. So that's exactly what we do at Body Shape as well. Personalized workouts so that we can adapt the exercises to everyone's levels, fitness levels and conditions. So before we talk about the benefits of strength training and get more in depth into that, what is it that you saw that's, let's say, kind of wrong with the fitness industry, or some things that you would really love to change or to see happen differently? Is there anything you detest, you don't like about the way things are going right now in the fitness industry? Because you've experienced it in Spain, in Britain, in many other places, so you have a great idea of how things look like. So I'm curious to learn, and if you can share from your experience.
Awesome. Good question. Well, the thing is, Irina, there's no industry is perfect. There's always going to be pros and cons. What I would say, the first thing is that there should be maybe a stricter entry. Like it should be harder to become a trainer, right? But again, there is certain value, you could say, if, like, for example, there's some forms of training that I don't agree with. But guess what? It just makes people, if it makes someone leave their sofa and be more active for at least an hour a day, then that's some type of accomplishment there.
Yeah,
right?
It's better than nothing, you mean?
Now, if we go on to now, if I would say what I don't like about the industry, yeah, just also I would say it goes both on the client that's not educated to choose the right trainer, and vice versa. The trainer is not competent or knowledgeable, educated enough to help the client. There seems to be that if you
or maybe they just don't care. I've seen so many trainers just checking their phone during the sessions.
Oh yeah, that's plain out disrespectful. Now, let's go first. First, I want to talk about just that kind of value that, okay, you've got a misconception. I think the trainer and both the client is, all right, if I don't smash my client, if my client is not puking on the floor, making them really, really tired, annihilating my client, then there is no value to the session. Now, see, getting tired and getting fatigued is not the same thing as training, right? I would even call that exercising to some degree, and it's a very dangerous form of exercising because there is no room for progress there, and that violates one of the strength principles, which is fatigue management. And again, progressive overload, too much, too soon. Now, another thing I see that in the industry is that unless you're doing a weight exercise, you can't just justify charging a client over by amino with exercise, with stability, one bands, Swiss balls, and even getting them some type of technology. All right. Now, one of the things I would say both for the client and the trainer. Now, being a coach, being a strength coach, it's not a hobby; it's a profession, right? Does a patient go to his dentist and ask for a discount? You go to your surgeon, do you ask for a discount, right? I don't think so. So why would you ask for a discount? So the connection on Instagram is back. Yeah, so why would you ask a discount to your trainer, your coach, who you're putting your health in his or her hands, right? So
I think I lost you on Instagram a little bit there.
Shall I repeat on Instagram?
So it's Q&A Tuesday, and we're talking to Luca Langella about the benefits of training and how to train properly, how to eat right, how to get the mindset of a champion, as he's a powerlifting champion here in Spain. So please shoot any questions you have for Luca while we're waiting to reconnect with him. Luca, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me well?
Back.
I'm going to Irina. I'm going to log off of
I think
Instagram.
the image froze a bit on Instagram, but I see you fine on Facebook.
Let me just. I'm going to log off of
I think
Instagram.
the image froze a bit on Instagram, but I see you fine on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook works fine. All right. In the meantime, we're waiting your questions.
Log off of
I think
Instagram.
the image froze a bit on Instagram, but I see you fine on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook.
Let me just.
All right, perfect. Cool. So tonight we're live with Luca Langella from Marbella in Spain. We're waiting for Luca to reconnect with us. In the meantime, because it's Q&A Tuesday, please ask us any questions you have on fitness, nutrition, and mindset, and Luca will answer. I see there are quite a lot of personal trainers joining us as well. So please ask any questions you have for Luca, as he's also a trainer for personal trainers, and he's trained many people in the fitness industry to become better coaches and better at what they do. All right, you're back.
I'm back.
All right. Back. The challenges of technology, being live on Facebook and Insta, at the same time.
I'm back. I do live in a beautiful place, but the downside to that, the connection here is not great. So yeah.
That's true. So how do you see the fitness industry evolving in the next, let's say, 5 years? Where do you see things are going?
Well, I mean, you can never tell, especially now with the coronavirus. I do see clients seeing a better value in one-to-one studios, in personal training, big boost for online coaches as well. So I think that maybe people will stop thinking that wearing a mask is the only solution to stop the virus. Where actually you should deal with the root of the problem itself. I mean, we can't make this virus disappear for now, but the root of the problem, hey, unless you're in the risk group, unless you have a metabolic disease, you can always strive to be healthier. And that's something that, especially on lockdown, we were, and I'll tell you something that we did on why we did the lockdown challenge, the 40-day challenge. And it was simply because the lockdown was the idea of it. Okay, we're staying in lockdown for your health. We're staying in lockdown for to protect the risk groups, people in risk groups. So what did everyone do? Right? Okay, Netflix, eat shit, get fat. We couldn't even leave our houses here unless we had the dog. We had to walk the dog just outside of our door. So it was pretty depressing.
Yeah, for sure.
And a self-destructive path. Now, this idea of the 40-day challenge was okay, we're doing this for health, then let's actually do something for health. Let's do a diet. Let's see who can get in better shape than what they started before the lockdown with minimal equipment or whatever you have at home, right?
So there are no excuses. Even if you're at home, there's so much you can do with your body weight or just with a few accessories. Use the chair, use an elastic band, just like we've coached our clients through Zoom, one of the platforms we're using at the moment as well. So it's just really up to you, right, to make the most of it.
Oh yeah, it's up to the client. I mean, it's like, we can't go to the gym, I'm just gonna go and eat shit. But why do you have shit in your house?
Okay.
First place, stop buying shit, right? Stop buying. Okay, if you have kids, just don't eat your kids' candy, and don't give too much candy to your kids. Now again, we're making this big sacrifice being in lockdown, but and then by wearing a mask in summer, everywhere you go, you have to wear a mask. And now what? And the first thing, like I'll tell you, in Catalonia, the first thing they closed them were gyms, but they're not closing down clubs. They're not closing down restaurants. I mean, come on, guys. People here are coming to the gym to improve, amongst many other things, have a strong immune system. Now, one of our mottos that comes from Westside Barbell is weak things break. Weak things break, weak things get ill, weak things die eventually. So it's kind of like, I think we've gone to like the survival of the fittest, kind of like, and the thing that helps people not only, as I said before, not only be physically strong, but be mentally strong and sane as well. You close down gyms. So I really don't get this proposition or this action taken from the government, both in the UK and here in Spain. I don't know if you know of Luke Sando. He was a very famous bodybuilder who killed himself in lockdown. Again, he was suicidal, but being in lockdown, being alone, not being able to go to the gym, so that kind of like triggered it earlier. So it's one of these things where the measure, the solution is causing more problems. Like, because I have not heard anyone say, guys, stop being fat, stop being out of shape, stop being so sedentary, stop eating like shit, because you have to face this virus. Anyone say, guys, stop being fat, stop being out of shape. I think my internet's a bit slow on my phone.
Yeah, I think the internet connection on Instagram is playing up a bit. But hopefully you can hear me.
All right. Facebook's going to be...
yeah, I think the internet Instagram is playing up a bit. But hopefully you can hear me. All right, so we're at Q&A Tuesday with Coach Luca Langella, International Strength Coach. So please ask all your questions for Luca on fitness, nutrition, and mindset. So we're talking about lockdown and how it affected a lot of people mentally and physically. So now, hopefully what's been worst has passed and better times will come. So let's see, how does sport help us during these uncertain times, and how does it help our immune system and mentally? So what would be the benefits of practicing sports during these times?
Oh, first of all, the mindset, the stress, the release, the dopamine release that you're going to get from it. It's now, again, if we're feeling anxious, we're feeling stressed out, we're in fear, that's going to carry over into so many different ways. Being stressful. Stress, I would say, is going to weaken, release of cortisol levels, decrease of muscle mass. Like, I would say watching the news is stressful. It have havoc on
definitely.
All about good habits. So the first tip I would say to everyone is to stop watching the news so much. Stop being hooked on TV. Life continues. Be safe, be healthy, take the precautions that you see better, certain recommendations from the government, whatever, all right? Your social distancing, don't be a fool, don't go to clubs, etc. But as you said, keep on living your life, right? Stop living in fear. That's what I would say. Now, when we don't do that, we live in the opposite. We're scared of going out. We're scared of going to buy some food. We're scared to sit down in a restaurant. That's not life. And that's going to carry over onto, guess what? Chronic levels of cortisol, stress, and guess what? Our immune system is going to go down. We're going to have a weaker immune system. All right. Now, again, training on the other side is going to make you stronger in and out. Like, just more resilient. some people still about the benefits of strength training, not only muscle density, bone density as well, higher metabolism rates, so many things, improve testosterone levels. Again, if that's combined with a good diet, density, bone density as well. The connections playing up. So many things, improve testosterone levels. Again, if that's combined with a good diet.
Right.
As well. Testosterone levels.
All right. Do you still hear me? Okay. Is everything fine? Because your image on Instagram, I think, froze a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bit funny on Instagram. What I'll do.
All right. Do you still hear me? Okay. Is everything fine? Yeah. All right. Yeah. You're pretty much in and out. So we're live at Q&A Tuesday with international strength coach Luca Langella, half Italian, half Spanish, yes, but born and raised in the UK. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there is a lag a bit on the platforms, and he trains and changes lives here in Marbella, in Spain. Yeah.
Is your Instagram going slow as well?
Yeah.
Or is it just mine? And both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So maybe we should stick to Facebook. So guys, if you're watching us right now, go to our Facebook page, Body Shape Transformation Center, and you can continue seeing our live there. I think it's just easier for everyone. And you can ask any questions that you have there. So on Facebook, Body Shape Transformation Center, Bucharest. Hopefully the internet will be on our side because we are here in Spain and we don't have the best probably technology as we have in Romania. Apparently in Romania we have one of the highest internet speeds in Europe, but in Spain it's playing up a bit. All right, guys, so let's see you on Facebook. We're live also on Facebook at the same time. Yeah. All right, so hopefully things are going well. All right.
Okay, Rena, back finally. I had the same problem when I interviewed Corinne.
All right.
Okay, Rena, back. I had the same problem when I interviewed Corinne.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lag.
Okay, Rena, back. I had the same problem when I interviewed.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lag.
No, I had the same problem when I interviewed.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lag.
Yeah. No, is that your Facebook or what?
I don't know exactly what's happening. Do you hear me all right, Luca?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some extra noise in the background.
Facebook.
I don't know exactly what's happening. Yeah, probably. Do you hear me all right, Facebook, or I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, I'll try to like put the volume down. All right. Is everything fine now? Yeah.
I can still hear it.
Now is better?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, this never happened to me before. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, hopefully we'll be fine now. All right, so we're talking about the mental benefits that sport brings you, especially during these uncertain times. What about in terms of like boosting your immunity? How does sport help you?
Oh, in many ways. I would say that in a combination with good nutrition, being more mindful of what you're eating, of your recovery. It's just not training itself. It's everything together. When most of my meal clients who are in their late 30s or mid 30s, the biggest issue I see is a very big drop or very low testosterone levels, where we do, most clients first point we do first assessment, we send them over to our doctors to get a blood test, and yeah, that's very common. So very common in a modern man day-to-day living. So that just having low testosterone levels is going to make everything weaker. It's going to be very hard for this person to get adequate rest. And I would say that even testosterone and cortisol, they kind of work in opposing moments. So say if you're always chronically stressed, your testosterone levels are going to be down, which is going to wreak havoc on many other things like again, poor immune system, poor sleep, digestion, etc. But again, that also comes just training itself is not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
But I would recommend, for example, it can also be the case that they're training too much or they're doing too much cardio. Right?
Yeah.
So we always have to kind of find the root of why the client is low in testosterone. Again, low testosterone, everything's gonna be weak. Libido, you're gonna be depressed. Your thoughts, low energy throughout the day, and that's gonna cause you to pick up colds more frequently. Go into so there's so many negative aspects of just that, right? So it's just kind of like a chain of just negative, vicious cycle of like really important elements being weak or being deficient. So we can also talk about we know what's the client eating, what type of job, how many hours a day are they sleeping, quality of sleep, are they drinking alcohol? So towards that, I would just say, okay, so first of all, let's address your sleep quality. Is this person snoring? Get a sleep test. And the next point would be, okay, let's increase, again, let's say we check the vitamin D, the blood test. Most likely, again, 99% of clients, of patients who go through blood test in most clinics around the world, guess what? They're vitamin D deficient. So bringing their vitamin D up is going to help to boost their natural levels of testosterone. Next point, they're not consuming enough cholesterol, good cholesterol, to boost hormone production, right? So again, 1, 2, 3. Next point, guess what? Let's reduce alcohol intake or completely remove it from the diet. Let's introduce certain other nutrients or minerals that your body may also be deficient in. Then again, I'll suggest to eat more red meat. Then yes, let's start a specific strength program, and maybe even do, when I say cardio, let's remove the cardio, but let's be active for a while. Let's drop the volume, intensity of training for a while and see what happens.
Awesome.
But again, there could be a downside where training too much, and I've seen it a lot, when you're training too much, and by too much, doing too much volume. Guess what? When with greater levels of fitness comes also greater levels of fatigue.
Yeah,
and when
the problem, I think, for the majority of population is they train too less, not too hard. From what I've seen, it's like too many sedentary and inactive people that we need to get moving. First of all, there's a common question among clients: what's the percentage? Like, how much is sport? How much is nutrition? In terms of like getting good results in changing your body composition. Is it 50-50, 80-20? What are like the proportions? That's like something that people ask a lot.
I would say just asking that question already just brings the wrong mindset, right? It's just the wrong mindset to the table. Now, one thing that I would say, you can train your ass off in the gym, but if you're eating like shit, you're going to be fat and you're not going to be healthy.
Yeah.
So I would take it as different elements of the health spectrum that need to be addressed 100%. No,
Right.
okay, I'll do 50% is diet and 50% is training, but what in terms of body composition goals, is it performance, is it health, right? You can't out-train a bad diet. And
I
having
mean, which one has the bigger ponder, right?
like they're equally as important. I wouldn't say 50% nutrition, 50% training, 100% nutrition, 100% training, 100% recovery as well. Because when you're training, you are digging a grave, a hole, and you need to fill that up with adequate recovery. So that entails sleeping, your nutrition, eating. So there's so many things that, but I would say I would encourage the population to change that mindset of, okay, it's 50% diet and 50% training. No, it's 100 each, because you have to try and optimize each. Now, again, if we go into nutrition, into the principles of nutrition and the hierarchy, then we've got, guess what? Calories are going to be the most important thing in terms of body composition, right? I wouldn't say for health. Okay, now again, let's not go to the extremes, right? If you are eating 4,000 calories a day and you're getting fatter each day, we have to attack calories. But for most fitness enthusiasts and gym goers, I would suggest that the pyramid of nutrition, I would say calories, say macros, micros, nutrient timing, okay, and lastly, supplements and hydration. But take these all, try to optimize all of these. All right. And again, as I mentioned there, food composition, number 4, and then nutrient timing. But for most people who don't have that specific goals, I would say food composition is the most important or principle of the diet for health.
All right, awesome. And to people who find it, let's say, hard to start an exercise and nutrition program, those kind of people that keep on postponing things. I'll start on Monday, I'll start next month, I'll start when I finish this project. What advice would you give them?
I would say to start with more realistic approach, because what I see, all right, I'm gonna start Monday, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna remove carbs and remove fats and just eat steamed chicken and dried broccoli, and that's not sustainable. It's not realistic. I would say do have a smaller, more realistic approach to what you can do. And the same thing with training. We want to be when you start a program, start conservative, right? That we've spoken a lot about. MEV, minimum effective volume, minimum work you need to do in order to improve. Okay, right. Now when I say minimum, most people are like, I'm just going to train again. You don't need to train 5 times a week if you're a beginner. All right, train free. Start with 3 training sessions. Start with a half an hour walk or 20-minute walk, and then we can improve that, increase that throughout time, right? But and the same thing with the diet. Don't be too restrictive on the diet. Try to and then ask for help. Get a coach. Get an online coach who's going to help you and guide you there, because it's going to be a lonely process, right? You need someone. It's going to be a lonely journey, especially with all the types of temptations and situations that you're going to be exposed to, that are going to make you or question your willpower and discipline to adhere to the diet or to the training program. Another important tip that I would say is to control your environment, right? the more control you have over your environment, the most likely you are to succeed. Create an environment. If you don't have friends that like training, that like going out every weekend and getting smashed, maybe you have to say no to these friends. Because if you really care about your health, you may need to put this lifestyle on hold for a while, because it's not healthy going and clubbing every Friday and Saturday, or whatever your friends do, right? Your friend's always gonna pull you into their environment, and you're always gonna be a victim of your environment. Now, the tip I would say, don't be a victim of your environment. You could fight your environment, but that takes a lot of willpower, and willpower is finite. But create an environment that helps you to achieve your goals.
Yeah, just like at Body Shape, you can meet like-minded people all heading towards the same goals and wanting to live a healthy lifestyle. So it's really, really important to surround yourself with people with similar values and goals, just like you do. So it's great point, Luca. Now, once you've decided to train, to change your environment, to start a new life, what kind of training is best for, let's say, regular people? Someone who's like, perhaps not passionate about sport, they're not like an athlete, they don't want to compete, they don't want to get into contests and be professional powerlifters or anything like that. They just want to get a good physique, lean, lose some body fat, and have a good time while seeing their progress. What kind of training? Because there's so many types of trainings on the market. So what kind of exercise program would you recommend?
There's so many options out there. But then again, there's a very famous quote that says, which one is the best exercise? The one you will do. So let's say for the average Joe, that if they love body pump, that's pump. Now again, is that optimal? Hell no. Now back to your question, my recommendation would be anything you enjoy that has strength training in it, some form of resistance training.
Why is it important to do strength training?
Why is it important to do strength training versus cardio, for example? Now, when you think about cardio, when you going out for a jog, we're going to be becoming smaller. There's nothing wrong with going out for a jog, but if your goal, unless your goal is to be a professional runner, a marathon athlete, a triathlete, then you have no business really going out for a run. If you enjoy it, by all means, yeah. But here we're in the business of making things, guiding the client into being training, eating the most optimal manner. But also, when I say optimal, quote unquote, there has to be also a form of enjoyment. So if a client does strength training, but he loves going out for a run, then, once a week is not really going to hurt his progress. Now, when we look about running, the energy systems that we're using, we're basically going to use up amino acids as form of fuel, right? Now, again, if you want to be a smaller version of yourself, by all means, run. If you're skinny fat, you keep running, guess what? You're still going to be skinny fat.
Right.
Now, what I say, people, don't be afraid of muscle. You need muscle. Why is muscle? So, especially for females out there, like, oh, I don't want any muscles. Kind of like if I'm saying, Irina, I'm going to give you 1,000 euros cash, tax-free. You're like, no, I don't want. All right, so it's kind of saying that muscle, more muscle, to some degree, not to the extreme, more muscle equals better health. Why is that? Now, again, when we look about cardio and we're running, we're going out for a jog, guess what? Our metabolic rate is going down, as in, so the amount of calories that we need in order to survive are going to be less and less and less and less. Okay, so I'm going to just put this question out the arena. All right, who burns more calories? We got A, Irina, going out for a run, training twice a day, playing her golf, salsa, and one day, right? Or myself, that I barely got in 1,000 steps. Just went to the kitchen, laid on the table, on the sofa, went to bed. That's all I did. Who burned more calories today? You or me?
Well, I do more, it seems, than you do to burn off those calories. So
we'll have to put that on a, maybe be a bit more specific and actually see who burned more and more here. But just put it out there. Maybe I burned the same amount of calories as you, or even more. Why? Because 70% of the calories that we burn throughout the day comes from our metabolism, our metabolic rate. Exactly. Okay, so now when we look at exercise, training, the session itself, it represents barely 15%, and if depending how hard we train, 5 to even 15% of your total calorie expenditure, right? Now, most people only focus on that 5%, going out for a run and slowly bringing down the metabolic rate. Now, what strength training does, also with the help of a high protein diet, a protein diet that meets your demands, then we are going to be, guess what? We're going to increase that 70%. It's going to be higher and higher and higher. So we're going to be guess what? Muscle uses up more, needs 3 times more calories, burns 3 times more calories than fat. So more muscle equals, it's going to be the same thing. I said muscle is metabolically more expensive than fat. Muscle is, and also financially more expensive than fat, because guess what? The amount of food, what's more expensive, an entrecôte or the equated caloric value of a donut, right? So donut is what, like €1, an entrecôte, a 400 gram at the butcher in Spain, it's going to be what, €8 roughly. So I mean, it depends on the entrecôte, like a standard one. So yeah, well, that being said, that's only on the caloric side of things, right? On our metabolic rate, on our total caloric expenditure. So strength training is going to improve that through time. Then when we look at physique, in order to mold our physique, we need strength training. When I mean strength training, I mean resistance training. All right, and that could be anywhere from 6 to 12 reps, or even 12 to 25 reps if it's more of a muscle that responds better to metabolite work. So it's important to challenge the movements, and also just running itself just gets you better at running, right?
Yeah, you reach a plateau at some point. You become so efficient at it, and you cannot.
So let's say 2 athletes, the same DNA, the same training background, everything, they got the same performance rates, but one of them gets stronger. Who is the better athlete? The one who is stronger. But why? This guy's a runner. Why? Just an example, Rena. If you're gonna hold a bottle of water here, say we hold the same bottle of water, who is going to be able to keep it up for longer? You or me?
You are stronger, so you.
Exactly. So strength also carries over. You've got stronger triathlete. He's going to run faster. You have a stronger boxer. He's going to be a better boxer. I'm not going to teach a boxer how to fight, but if I get him stronger, I'm going to make him a better boxer. Same as with some of my clients who who practice golf. I don't know anything about golf. I know about movement and biomechanics. I'm not going to teach them how to play golf better, but whatever we do in the training is going to make them a better athlete in their sport.
Nice. So strength and conditioning. Yeah. Awesome.
Being said, is it going to be beneficial for this triathlete to attempt to lift, let's say 250 kilograms on the deadlift? No, because the amount of specific work, non-specific work to his sport is going to have too much fatigue. That's not going to allow him to do his sport efficiently. Okay, but being said, also most people that neglect strengthening their movement patterns, every different plane possible, are just going to be weaker individuals. Are going to be more prone to pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, my recommendation for these individuals is to stop focusing on that 5%, 5 to 15% of calorie expenditure, and to focus on long-term health improvements from bone density. Everything improves.
Awesome. All right. So to finalize the show, what would be, let's say, 3 tips or 3 top recommendations you have for anyone in order to live a really, really healthy lifestyle and have more energy and just be really good in everything they do?
Okay, so I'm gonna go. You said 3. I'm gonna talk on one of 3. I would talk about training, nutrition, and recovery. So I would say for training, I would say to build your foundations. Don't be in a rush to lift more and more weight. Develop as I said before, develop that inner monk, that you become very mindful of the execution of every single rep. This goes for everyone, regardless if you're a bodybuilder, strongman, crossfitter, whatever you do, is to try and improve how well you move. All right, and a cliche is to sometimes what you hate the most in training is what you need the most. You hate stretching, you hate balance. We could call them balance exercises like spot. Then guess what? You're unstable as hell. You need more unilateral work and stability work to strengthen, and maybe you have a big degree of strength deficit from one side to the other side. So that goes to training. In terms of nutrition, I would say there's a lot of confusion, a lot of information out there now. There's also a lot of bad information. Be aware of in the media, whether it's an influencer, buying company, trainer that sells you super fast, unrealistic results in terms of nutrition, or maybe even some very dramatic claims like, okay, lose your weight having a dessert, or the 16-8 diet is what made me lose fat. Like these kind of like
quick
claims, bold claims with no context. So be wary of that. So
who do you listen to? All right. Awesome.
And in terms of recovery, I would say and this goes back to nutrition as well, maybe put a bit more emphasis in what you're eating pre and post training, and also try and get better quality sleep, which would try to not train too much. If you're this goes for the fitness enthusiasts who train six times a week, and basically that, just learn how to be more parasympathetic, where we're in a relaxed state. Maybe do some yoga, again, the spiritual side, some meditation. That can be a good way to bring that nervous system down and to really just
awesome. A balanced, healthy lifestyle. Thank you so much, Luca. It's been a great hour full of wisdom and tips, and I love to see your passion, and it's obvious that you are so knowledgeable and you read so much on the topic. And I'm really glad we had this conversation, and hopefully everyone took some bits and pieces that they can go and apply. So go out there and lift some weights, and your body will thank you for that, and your stress will go down. You'll feel better about yourself, and you'll sculpt your body just the way you want. So thank you so much, Luca Langella, international strength coach. You can follow him on Instagram or Facebook, and of course keep in touch with Body Shape Romania for more news and updates on living a healthy lifestyle, fitness, nutrition, and mindset. Every Tuesday we're here at Q&A with a special guest to answer your questions and to empower you to live the active lifestyle that you deserve. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Rina. Pleasure. And guys, see you soon. Take care.
Ok, hasta luego. Gracias. Adiós.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.